So without further ado, we have Zewxip joining us tonight. Hey, Zewxip.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm sorry, did you say it's a pleasure to meet me?
Again.
Oh, yes. Meet me again. I thought you were implying that, you were meeting me for the first time, which of course is not the case. How have you been, Zewxip?
The sun has been out, the winds have been blowing, the seas have been beautiful to navigate aboard that ship that Bartholomew gave me. It's been a very good
I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself this summer, Zewxip. How's your crew? How's everything holding up on the? I don't know if I'm aware of this. Have you ever named your ship? Zewxip?
Yes.
Oh, I was saying, have you named your ship? I was about to call your ship by name, but I wasn't sure if I was familiar with the name of your ship.
We're inquiring as to what the name of the ship is.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, there's still some subtleties that I'm trying to understand.
Yes. Does your ship have a name? I guess is the crux of my question here.
It does and it does not. There are several that me and the crew are still trying to decide upon. It's a process as we learn the ship. We hope to be able to get a natural feeling and sounding name for it. I would have given it, well, I suppose I always could give it something in a Floran language. It's a little difficult to pronounce for many, and I'd prefer for it to be something that everyone on a beach would point at and say, "Oh, look, there's insert name here."
And have it be something, easy to access for members of any race, I suppose. Because the crew is not
We
entirely
must
Floran.
sail, we must adventure a bit more to really feel it out.
I look forward to hearing it once you have decided on a name. And I was also just going to ask, how is your crew? How are they faring? Do you have a particular first mate, Zewxip?
We're still learning the ropes, I believe is the term for it, because we are learning the ropes. Being gifted such a magnificent ship has been it's been fun, but it's also been a responsibility. There's been some injuries that we've had to overcome. We've really been sailing and just trying to weather the storms. Oh, there's so many unique ways to express yourself based on this trade.
I suppose there are, and I guess it's funny when you say learning the ropes. I guess that's a very literal thing as well, because there's quite a lot of rigging and things that you have to, contest with, which I know you as a sailor are very familiar with, but some of the Floran perhaps maybe not as much as you.
Yes, it's interesting, especially because the ropes are usually made out of us, and the places in the crew are odd too. I love being the captain, but sometimes I love being the cook, and I just want to give the role of the captain to someone else. So we all wear different hats. I mean that very much. I'll sometimes give my captain hat to someone else.
Well, it seems like, while your as of yet unnamed ship is still kind of finding its place upon the sea, I'm glad that it seems like you're having a great time doing so, Zewxip.
Very much so. Just as I found myself, we will find the ship.
Very good. Welcome back, Zewxip. Next, we have joining us, Sotaria Avenia is with us once more. What's going on, Sotaria?
Say it.
Sotaria, you have to say it.
No.
If once you have successfully done so, I will start saying it, but you have to get it at least once.
Fine. Fine. The unholy Empress of manipulation and smarter than all cheap, overbearing, harebrained wizards named Bartholomew. There.
All right, you got me. From now on, I will have to. You got me on that one. You did your homework. From now on, I will have to say it every time. But
you can just call me the unholy Empress. I'll take that.
Okay, the unholy Empress. How are you doing, Miss? I'm sorry, Sotaria.
Oh, I'm fine. And please don't call me by that fox's name. She's been very depressed lately.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that that friend of yours is not doing quite as well, but I hope you're doing all right, Sotaria.
Oh, I've been fine. The money's coming in. I've been quite a happy camper.
So I know you've been taking in a lot of money recently. I know you picked up like a pretty valuable pearl, I believe it was last week. Did you end up selling that?
Oh no, that's in my treasure vault.
Oh, just holding on to it, waiting for a maybe the right buyer, or are you just never going to sell it? Do you just like having it?
I don't know yet. See, it's quite pretty. I don't know if I'm gonna keep a hold of it or am I gonna actually gonna sell it. I ain't made up my mind yet, but it has to be a pretty good bit of coin for me to actually sell it.
The It's a little bit impractical, I suppose, for a lot of things. You can't really make any jewelry out of a pearl that large.
Oh
Maybe
no, 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 no.
I'm sure there's probably some magic items or things though that could definitely use such a big pearl as like a focus though. So maybe that might be an avenue to look into, Sotaria.
Maybe. But as for
Uh,
right now, I'm happy to have it in my treasure vault and
well,
it can
excellent.
stay there and look pretty.
Well, Sotaria, I'm glad that you have been finding such fortune as of late, and I'm also very glad that you're here with us once more. It's good to see you again, Sotaria.
Good to see you too.
Next, we have Jenny Galanodel is back with us again, the protector of Bartholomew's adventures. Good evening, Jenny.
Good evening.
Jenny, how are you tonight?
Conflicted.
Conflicted.
So, I've
yeah.
known about this spell for a very long time. However, I had not used it up until this point, and I deeply regret it.
And what is that particular spell?
Find familiar.
I didn't know that paladins were able to use Find Familiar.
I was not aware of this either, but now I have a familiar.
I mean, that's can only be an advantageous thing for you as an adventurer, yes?
Yes, it's just it's strange, the familiar that I have received.
What's the nature of your familiar? What's strange about it?
It's a skeletal raven.
Oh, that is definitely uncommon, but
Yes.
I mean, they are magically conjured creatures. They can come in many forms.
Yeah, I just was not expecting a skeleton bird.
Well, we'll have to we'll have to see how your familiar aids you in combat, or I guess it takes a little while to get used to all of the new possibilities that having a familiar will open up for you.
Yes. Also, thank you for not asking my downtime activities in service to Bartholomew's adventures.
You're welcome.
Yes, very well.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Jenny. Welcome back. And last, but of course not least, we have Krixus with us as well. The right hand of the cloud is here.
Praise it.
Praise it. Yeah, Krixus, I'm not going to do this when you demand it so aggressively. You have to be nicer next. You have to say the magic word next time, Krixus.
Please praise the cloud.
Praise the cloud. It's good to see you, Krixus. How are you?
I am doing well, other than I still haven't got my citadel back. I need my kitchen.
I know that this is troubling for you, but you're certainly just imagine how great it will be once you do eventually have access to your kitchen again. I know that's a very small consolation, but building anticipation has some merit.
Yes, I even created a new dish, so to speak. It's an alteration.
Do tell.
Yes, would you like some pizza rolls?
Oh, pizza rolls! It was Krixus. It was your pizza is legendary throughout the lands, and it feels like it was just a very natural place for you to bring it to pizza rolls. Are those made by Tostinos?
Yes, Tostino.
Is that the brand that you've been putting together for pizza rolls?
Yes.
I have actually heard about this, Krixus, and I can't wait to try them.
Wonderful. Should try them with my wonderful toe jam sauce.
Yes, of course. I might hold back on the toe jam sauce for now. I'll just stick to plain traditional pizza rolls. I'm not ready for the advanced ones yet. But Krixus, are you doing good? Are you doing well? Just in general?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. I know you're not happy about having lost your citadel, but I'm glad you're doing all right.
About being happy. When I get it back, I will be again, somewhat.
I hope that day comes for you soon. And without further ado, let's hop into tonight's first adventure here. The four of you find yourself standing in Bartholomew's shop. And you were teleported here. You had plans to come here. You had contracts with Bartholomew today. He hadn't discussed what the nature of the work would be, but he said he was going to be sending you to. It was like Sotaria, and it was like a bodyguarding thing. Was what he had spoken about pretty vaguely. But rather than just allowing you to arrive at the shop, he teleported you here directly a little bit early. And as he brought you into the shop, he's just not there. He's not behind the counter. You can hear a little bit of him kind of like scrambling about in like the back room over behind it. Not the back room, all caps, but just like that other room that sometimes appears where his like workshop is and things. And he's just putting something together. You can hear him kind of like muttering a little bit to himself. And the four of you finally see him emerge looking incredibly flustered, completely frazzled. Like his beard is even more kind of wild and thrown about than it is. His eyes are kind of like, a little bit bloodshot, and he has some kind of bags under his eyes. He looks over at the four of you. I am very glad that the four of you are here. Okay. Is everyone doing well? We have a lot.
Are you sure you're really?
Hell, the coming apocalypse!
That's new. There's no apocalypse. Well, there is. That's all aside. Okay, I need you all to focus up right now. Okay, so for starters, I have some news for all of you. Did you know, when you read the fine print on our... did you all read the fine print on the contract you signed as adventurers when you came into our service here?
You mean the fine print you just added?
And no, I don't change the contracts. This was all in there originally. This is actually, I didn't even know that this was in there.
I claim that I did.
Here's the deal. Our adventuring troop, I forgot that I did this. We are actually a sovereign nation. I had to do it a while back for tax reasons. Actually, Roger, fun fact, is technically a king. Because, we had to put his name on some of the forms and things. So that's a whole nother story. The bottom line is you are citizens of a nation called Bartholomew's Adventuring Troop. And as a member of the greater political landscape in DnDTime that we had to become in order to become a nation, we're hosting the DnDTime Olympics today.
That's sudden.
Yes, I forgot about it, and then there was all of a sudden people just started to sort of flow in that I was doing it this year. I've never done this before. I'm really just trying to throw everything together last minute here. So there's just a lot of people outside, and all of them are expecting. There's like athletes here. I need you. I need to throw together an opening ceremony, and I thought maybe you could help with that. There's got to be something big that can represent who we are, and what we represent is Bartholomew's Adventuring Troop. I'm building.
us.
Was that what was that?
Sorry. He's just a little hungry.
Yes. Bartholomew snaps, and you can see him. You just see a piece of kind of carrion, just like carrion kind of rotting meat appears in front of the on your shoulder to the right. I don't know if that's what he eats.
I throw skin roll-ups at it.
It hops happily and begins to devour the skin roll-ups.
And okay, we need to put together an opening ceremony. Actually, do you want to just walk out? It starts in 15 minutes. I don't know what. I don't know what we're going to do for this. I need your help. And I'm going to pay you. I'd pay you, obviously. I know you had like a bodyguard thing. I already canceled that.
Do we have a large pedestal to set on flames?
Okay, yes. Among other things, I did. Hold on one moment. Actually, you know what? Just come with me. And Bartholomew kind of opens the door out into the outside of the shop, the rarely visited land around Bartholomew's shop.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's almost never that you actually walk through this space.
The last time Jenny was here, I think, was 2 years ago, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Welcome's taking.
Welcome's taking, yes.
Yeah, of course, welcome's taking. Yeah, Bartholomew opens the door. Do you guys all just kind of follow him out into the yard, so to speak, around Bartholomew's shop?
Jenny thinks back to that mage who she had to fight one-on-one.
And the scene is not entirely unlike the scene that you saw when you came here for welcome's taking, in that there's a lot of people here, even more so than before. You can see what looks like just individuals from all over the lands of DnDTime that are currently gathered here. As the door opens, you're just overwhelmed with the sights and sounds of people getting ready for this grandiose DnDTime Olympics athletic competition that, of course, all of you are familiar with to some degree. You can hear the sounds of very huge fanfare in the distance as different horns are trumpeting the arrival of people walking into this space. You can see crossing your path at first an entire wave of people dressed in rags made from newspapers with numbers on their back that are forks and knives that are kind of just arranged in the shape of numbers, looking like representatives from the Trash Kingdom. You can see Krixus, you see a whole group of lizard folk that look like they're from up in the Candy Kingdom. And as they see you, you see a few of them kind of nod towards you respectfully as the right hand of the cloud.
Excellent.
Yeah, it just looks like there are members from every possible nation here in the lands of DnDTime, with few exceptions. Everyone's just here getting ready for the Olympic Games. Bartholomew continues to step and walk across through this crowd and leads you over to the side where he has a big thing covered under a tarp. He looks over the group of you. All right, so... And he throws the tarp off, and you can see he has a huge brass cup that he's put together here. So we have to... It's this is like a brazier. We got to light this at some point. That's what you were thinking. Right, Jenny? Something like this? Is that going to work? I can change this.
Yes, this is the final step.
We do this last, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I'm familiar with that tradition. We do a big fire. They're already just introducing athletes out on the... I just cleared a bunch of trees, and they're all... Did you hear the fanfares? They're doing anthems and stuff. Do we have an anthem?
Yes, we do.
That's really good news. I don't know it, but I'll trust that you can handle it. We're going on last. So after we do the anthems, everyone's going to clear, and we're doing an opening ceremony. What do you all think that we can... What do we represent? I mean, money, but I'm not going to throw money out on the crowd because that actually would go against... I guess we could take their money. I don't know. What do you think? What do we do?
How about how about we throw out chocolate coins? It won't cost you that much.
That's not a bad... Okay. Should I put them in the cup? That'd just melt if we let it on fire. What do I do?
No, if you're saying that we were going to toss coins, we toss them out, but we do that before we light the thing. We light the brazier on fire.
These things usually have a song and dance sort of component. I don't know if you can all handle that, or just some kind of performance of some kind.
Why didn't you call Jade? She's the performer.
I did, and you're not, of course. I didn't call. You were the first ones I called because I think you're exactly perfect for the job.
Right.
So, I didn't call Freddy. I knew that Jenny was the one to speak to first. Okay, so coins would throw chocolate. I guess that's not bad. Anyone else have ideas? Just go. Just rapid fire.
Heroes Feast.
A feast? Just food? Okay, we can do food. Heroes, there's something to do there. Maybe we do like a fight?
Well, I mean, Heroes Feast is a spell, Bartholomew, that I'm quite sure that you know.
Oh, no, I can cast it for certain.
Eating food can be a competition if you're looking for a sport.
We got all kinds of sports. We just have to put on like a performance and not make it so bad that we stop being considered. Here's the thing: if we really, I'm gonna get real with you all. If we really goof this one up, then we are going to probably stop being considered a nation, and that's going to make it a lot harder for us to do the kinds of business that we do around the world. And so we
And
really,
why did you decide to do this at the last minute?
Then,
I didn't know about it. Is really, really.
then how about this? As I've traveled, everyone seems to have a different idea about what caused Liberation Day. Why don't we recreate Liberation Day, whom everyone seems to celebrate, but we can just kind of make up whatever it is, launch a bunch of fireworks after a fun little simulation of what we were liberated from, and there we go. It's very unifying. It is a show of skill, and I believe everyone can take something away from it.
That sounds like a very good. It's some kind of play acting, is what you are getting at, Susan.
Yeah, perhaps like a war game, a simulation of that fated day and or days that made the Liberation Day holiday.
All right. I'm going to. Okay, I know what I got to do. You're going to be on in 15 minutes. Stall, I'll get the oppressor. And Bartholomew just snaps his fingers, and you see him disappear, just leaving the four of you amidst the crowd.
And you guys wonder why I put Hairbrain Wizard in my name.
No, not at any point.
For
One
those of you
second.
that have hair, does it originate in your brain? Where does your hair grow from?
Huh?
My hair equivalent is attached in a way to my brain. Is yours?
No, not exactly. Anyway,
I don't.
being
have-
that Sotaria really doesn't want to have this conversation about human anatomy compared to floor anatomy.
Yeah.
So, good lord.
You're, from what
So, who
Bartholomew
wants
tell
to? So,
you're
who
down to
wants to
10
go in
minutes,
front of a bunch of people and stall? Not it.
Maybe our paladin can talk to them. I can maybe get the bird to do tricks by throwing pizza rolls, and while it does like a barrel roll or something.
I actually have a great idea, and I'm going to begin to cast a spell.
Okay.
Using a vial of blood from a humanoid killed within the past 24 hours, I'm going to summon Greater Demon.
Oh dear. Do you have to control a greater demon after you summon it, or do you just have it until you
It's concentration up to 1 hour. At the end of each of the demon's turns, it makes a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
But until that time, I have control over it.
I see nothing wrong with this.
I see everything wrong with this, but I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to stop it because I'm thinking of all the pickpocket opportunities.
A typical paladin demon summoning, like all paladins do.
Of course, yeah.
So you are going to take your fresh blood that you have. People around you are. I mean, you have a vial of blood. There's a lot of people here right now. How long does it take to cast this spell?
One action.
Are you just doing it right now in front of everyone? Okay. What are you summoning?
That's the question, isn't it? Because it has to be CR 5 or lower.
5 or lower, yeah.
Yeah. What's the most performance knowledgeable demon or devil?
You can figure that out while.
Yeah, what's everyone else doing?
Yeah, what's everyone else doing? If you want to think about what demon you're going to say, you watch. You all see Jenny say something about a demon, and then begin kind of just thinking as they're pondering to themselves what kind of demon they're going to conjure up from a from the abyss. Meanwhile, so that's what Jenny's doing, kind of up until start time. Really, here I think is what the deal is.
Shadow demon might work.
Krixus, Sotaria, Zewxip, what are the three of you kind of doing to prepare before you're suddenly thrust into a situation where you have to perform for the entire world?
The rest of the other three of you get 5 hit points to your max, as I'm going to hand out some tasty biscuits.
I love that. That's one of the first things. So, like, before we can do any more, we got to make sure everyone's on a full stomach.
I thank you. And Sotaria's about to go hide in the shadows because performing is not Sotaria's thing at all.
So Sotaria's just going to go and like duck in.
Sotaria's about to dip. Sotaria's basically about to go dip and about to go find someone to go pickpocket.
Well, one problem, Sotaria, that you are aware of that's a little bit less performance-based is you have a big brass cup here that you have to get on display somewhere, and that's just like sitting here, like in behind a utility shed that's been set up for the day, and like you have to get it up onto the stands. It's very large and very heavy.
Fine. Oh, Krixus.
Yeah, what's Krixus up to?
Khakis. I'm just sitting there like eating some pizza rolls.
Krixus, you see this really heavy thing right here? Why don't you follow me? You can come with me and we can find a place to put it.
Okay.
Krixus, do you just are you gonna like actually grab it or?
Sure.
Krixus, this thing is like, just to put it into perspective, this like is a huge brass like brazier goblet kind of thing. It looks like it's I mean it's hundreds of pounds. I'll let you make a strength check to try and move this thing, but it's probably gonna be tough. But go ahead and make me a critical strength check right here.
Awesome. Oh, come on. I get a what? Okay, let me just do this then. Why are you not working properly? You know what?
Having an issue with the character sheet? Six.
Wow.
Krixus, you walk over, you kind of in your mind, you say a brief blessing to the great big cloud to give you strength. You reach down and it does not move an inch. It is just stationary on the ground, very big, very heavy.
Yes.
Well, since that failed, Sotaria pats Krixus on the back. Well, you tried. In that case,
you can try.
Again, she's. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Not. I'm dipping. Bye.
Go back over by dinner. Start eating pizza rolls again.
Yep, Krixus, you just pop back. And what's Zewxip doing during this time of preparation?
I'm going to do an interpretive dance using my cantrips to show the unification of the elements, and that ultimately, through my flower power druid craft, it can bring wholesome growth and a bounty to everyone involved.
Seeing Zewxip do that, I will start doing interpretive dance, and I will sing the song of my people.
Zewxip, I'm touched, and that is also a perfect Olympic theme. And So you guys see Zewxip. Go ahead and make me, just because it so matches the spirit of the DnDTime Olympics. I would like you to make me just a performance check with advantage as you're kind of putting this thing together. And this is you just, okay, so 21, this is you practicing on the side beforehand. You guys are watching Zewxip just kind of like go through the steps and like work out what they're going to do for this interpretive dance. And everything that Zewxip just said, that message is just wordlessly conveyed to you. And it's stirring, frankly. Zewxip, you have mastered this interpretive dance, and I will let you keep that performance check when you do this in front of the crowd. Like, yeah. And Jenny, you, what demon do you summon?
That's Incubus.
Incubus. There
Yep.
it is. You conjure before you. There's a, what does it look like as you summon it? Is it just like is it a flash of just like fire, brimstone? What is your summoning spell?
So slowly some greenish brown gases seep out of the earth, and the form of this shadowy, tall, lanky figure begins to merge with the smoke, and out of it comes basically Ricardo.
And you see this incubus kind of comes into the space, looks around a little bit, looks towards you. Here for you, Jenny, right?
Yes. You are quite an attractive demon, I must say.
That is part and parcel. So, what do you need me to do? Am I killing someone? What, just for fun? Am I here? What's the deal?
Oh, you're here for fun.
Perfect. What do you need me for? He kind of smiles at you.
Are you comfortable with performing in front of an audience?
Oh, of course.
What do you say to performing in the name of Bartholomew's adventures in the Olympic Games?
And he's kind of like as you say the thing about performing in front of an audience, he kind of leans into you and he's like very, and then as you say that, he kind of like, you seem like deflate a little bit and goes like, oh, I mean, I guess.
I'm sure that will help your standing.
Yeah, of course. You've summoned me, and that's what I'm here for. So I'll perform at the Olympic Games, a DnDTime tradition to promote positive relations between empires and nations. And that's what I, a demon, sure. And he kind of, you see him kind of like start walking over towards the pitch, and just kind of kind of mumbling to himself a little bit as he approaches over the way. Am I supposed anything specific, or just kind of whatever I'm feeling, or?
I'm gonna walk up behind him and grab him by the side of the hips and say, just follow my lead.
And he kind of looks at you, nods, and you have a very short amount of time left before the ceremony begins. Do you guys have any last-minute actions before you are thrust before a crowd? So, Sotaria, it sounds like you are just not going up there. It sounds like you're just like, we're just going to let this thing crash and burn.
Exactly. Again, if I had any entertaining prowess like a certain tabaxi I know, it would be a different story. But Sotaria's main thing is not performing. Sotaria's main thing is stealing.
Sotaria, you're just kind of sulking in the shadows, just kind of like nervously, just kind of whistling to yourself as you're dodging the responsibility here. Krixus, are you going to just walk boldly out onto the field without a plan, or are you kind of with Sotaria right now?
No, I will go out on the field. No plan at all.
I'm sorry.
Mute for a second, or whatever that sound is in
Sorry.
the background. All good. And you can see, yeah, so Krixus, you step out onto this field as well. You can see that now, as it's time for the opening ceremonies to truly begin, yeah, you can see the signs, like you're looking around, and yeah, Bartholomew put this thing together pretty slapdash. There's just a huge pile of, like, cut trees and, like, stumps over in the corner, where it looks like he just completely cleared this part of the forest for all these people to come here. There are bleachers there, and they still have, like, the sheen of being conjured. Just kind of emanating from them like a slight glow, which some people are looking at like, ooh, they even enchanted the bleachers, and you're just like, no, Bartholomew just summoned them a minute ago, and they just still got some magic in them. Yeah, there's just a lot of people waiting. You can see like a huge group of athletes are being like cheered off of the stage. Currently, as the four of you kind of are walking out into the field, you can see someone who's there just kind of like, you're not sure if they're directly associated with Bartholomew or just someone who works for the Olympics committee. But as the three of you, Sotaria, you're still just viewing from a distance right now. As the three of you kind of begin stepping out onto the pitch, the whole world watching you in essence. And you can see that that's true not just in the sense that the whole world is just like here, and it's like a lot of people from different parts of the world. You can also see like illusory projections of people around the world that are all viewing what's happening here right now. Yeah, you guys step out onto the pitch with kind of a plan. Yeah, a small gnome kind of runs up to you who's wearing, it looks like he just has a bunch of, has a symbol on his shirt that's 5 concentric bees of different colors, and he comes up to you, and he goes, all right, you're it for the opening ceremony? Usually these things have like hundreds of people, and they all have like crazy outfits and stuff, and just checking in.
Yes.
It's us. We're ready to go.
Oh, okay. Do you need any? Do you need voice amplification? Do you need anything?
Yes. I need voice amplification. I need lights. I need fire, and I need music.
Lights. Do you want it nighttime? Do you want it? What's the deal on lights? Do you want like spots?
Nighttime flashes.
Nighttime flashes. We can do that. Usually we get this stuff in advance, but we'll improvise. We'll try and make it work for you. Anything else that you need?
Would you be able to bring my ship out of the sea and have it fly over this area to inspire it?
We can't really.
An illusion is fine too.
That's what I was gonna say. We couldn't really get the real ship, but we can definitely get you an illusion. Can I just get a quick mind read on that?
Yes.
And
my mind to your mind.
you see they kind of take out, they put on like a little crown for a moment. It looks just like a crown of like detecting thoughts. And you feel them trying to read your mind as you picture exactly what it is.
My ship flying over a bunch of flower petals of all different colors. Just fun stuff. I'm a pyromancer, so fireworks and other things. Just kind of going off that in a wonderfully colored smoke.
Okay, yeah, you kind of convey these images to this. All right, we'll have our illusionists on it. Last call, and you're on in about 1 minute. All right, and the gnome kind of hustles off of the pitch here, and you watch as slowly they begin kind of preparing from your directions. You hear a voice kind of speak to you telepathically, just like, just raise your hand up when you're ready for your voices to be amplified, and then we'll be good to go. Best of luck out there, break a leg. You see the lights, the sky above, like the sun is just being kind of like blotted out right now with illusion, as they're slowly starting to like essentially bring down the house lights on this outdoor venue, which is obviously a pretty grandiose scale of illusion magic that there's just a lot of people working on, you can tell. Do you have any last things that you want to say to each other or try and convey before you guys step into your performance?
I begin to bend over, and it looks like I'm going to break my leg off. That's what you do.
You guys watch Zewxip?
No, Zewxip, don't actually break a leg.
You need your leg broken? Is this a partner
No,
thing?
no.
It's a saying,
It's a saying.
but I always just break the legs.
Oh, all right. No legs broken. The thought that counts. I'm thinking about breaking all of your legs.
Fantastic.
With that, the lights kind of completely dim, and the crowd comes to silence. And as it does so, the kind of the visuals that they have set up here become completely black, except for the occasional just complete darkness that you're kind of enswathed in illusion here. And there's a hushed crowd, just to the moment of anticipation. You see the occasional kind of like glimmer as they're almost making the points above look like starlight, and then suddenly, just from that point, just nowhere seemingly up above, a grand spotlight comes down and highlights the three of you standing in the midst of this field. Sotaria, you're watching from a distance, and you see them begin the show. Go ahead and, tell me what you do as you've entered the skill challenge of trying to pull off this performance. Who would like to make the first move?
I think
Actually,
that Zewxip with his interpretive dance.
Yep.
Zewxip, you begin your interpretive dance, and you gave me the theme before, and as I told you, I'm actually going to give you a free success for this interpretive dance, because you've trained for it and you're ready for it now, and it's so inspiring. So you're starting off with one success for this interpretive dance. Could you still kind of describe to me a little bit some of the motions and things that you do for this interpretive dance?
Yeah, I will. I'll be using my various cantrips in a dance. I guess almost in a pop culture out of character reference, like the opening to Avatar. Right, we're doing all sorts of cool swoops and different poses as little bits of fire are weaving through the air from my arm-like appendages. I can draw little designs in the dirt with my mold earth. I can blow some wind around. I'll have brought, I guess, a cup of water out with me and kind of splash that off to the side, and there's my water. I'll pour the water, and then I'll druid craft some seeds starting to grow up after I do this fun little 4 elemental, dance.
And is this when you want the ship to cue? Is this part of your dance, or are you waiting for more of a climactic moment to kind of cue that for the gnomes?
No, I'm gonna go all in here. It will build up. I'll grow my little spice bush and whatnot, and then I would like to have the colored fly over and the confetti of the flower petals and all this starting to just trail off of this ship, which would look like one off the coast that maybe some people have seen before. I'll sneak in a little advertising here too, and have it fly over.
It might not make a little money on the side, but
it wouldn't be a Bartholomew's Adventures without advertising.
It's very true to spirit. So, Zewxip, you do this incredible interpretive dance, 21 that you had rolled for this, and you begin to kind of just dance, and you watch as you're doing so. The movements are so convincing and conveying of the spirit and emotion of what you're trying to bring to the table, that the gnomes running illusions are able to when you make a small stream of water, you see kind of above it illusory water on a much grander scale than your cantrip is able of producing. They're just using you as like the lead in this dance, and kind of following along like a partner, creating even more like elaborate tapestries in the skies as you kind of paint them with your motions. And so far, it's looking very much like an Olympic opening ceremony for the DnDTime Olympics, as people are respectively oohing and eyeing, and you can even hear a few people getting choked up as this final like vision of this ship of unity flies overhead. You have one success thus far in your skill challenge, and Zewxip, your part here, your kind of opening bit, kind of comes to a close. Who does the spotlight go to next?
I think that goes to me then.
And Zewxip, as it kind of comes to a close, the light comes off of you and it shifts over to you, Jenny, and also Ricardo the Incubus.
Yeah.
And you see Ricardo kind of finishes looking over at Zewxip and is like, kind of gives you a look like we're supposed to follow that. As kind of like raises an eyebrow at you, but is still standing very confidently and very comfortably in the spotlight here in front of all these people.
Yeah. And with that, I'm going to prestidigitate a circle of flames around us as the spotlight ignites upon us.
He kind of looks down at the circle of flames and is just kind of leaning into you, wondering what your wondering what direction you're going to take it, kind of waiting for your.
So it's going to be a kind of, you know, those like trained professional dancers who dance with each other, but it kind of looks like a fight.
Yes. I know what you're getting at. In that case.
We're sexy fighting right now.
Yeah, you're doing some like Cirque du Soleil, very sexy.
Yeah,
I get go ahead and make me. I will let you either make me an athletics check, a performance check, or an unarmed strike. Any of those things. Performance 17.
Mm-hmm.
That's another success. You begin this kind of fake fight dance, and Ricardo is kind of watching you and kind of following your cue, and he sees you like throw the first punch, and you see him kind of like lean back and sneer at you a little bit, like he's actually in a battle with you, and as he kind of like is finally getting like, oh, this is what we're doing, you see him kind of the wings brush out behind him as he goes into kind of full incubus, like has the full like curly devil tail, lets the horns grow out on top of his heads, and begins taking on the look of just a very like a very stereotypical like demon kind of figure, and begins kind of battling you in this way, fake fighting you, and do you have any how does it kind of resolve as you guys go into this big fake fight?
It resolves with us grappling each other and then descending into darkness.
And as you guys kind of fall and kind of collapse in this way, he kind of falls down and kind of, you know, just looks at them. So are we done? Did we do it?
Yes.
You have 2 successes thus far, which now in this moment the spotlight kind of shifts over to you, Krixus. And Krixus, you are now out in the field. The light is upon you. And I know you didn't have as much. So what do you do as the light shifts to you, Krixus?
You ever watch Pulp Fiction?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, I start doing like the John Travolta dance from that. But it gets better. That is when you hear me, and I raise my hand in the middle of this, and I yell, Mahu Shujo.
Oh my god. Yeah, of course. Krixus, this whole time, for anyone unaware about this fact about Krixus, you are always in a magical girl costume that you got that first Halloween.
Oh no. Oh no.
And Krixus, Could you please describe? Could you please describe your magical girl transform? What happens when you do this? I can't remember what happens when you do
So
this.
I rise up into the air, and it starts to like color shift in this prismatic, hypnotic dance, as it seems like there's starlight, like a nebula. And as I twirl in the air with my wand of the War Mage in my hand, I start to feel the swirling. And you can see my body begin to shift and change into that of a beautiful woman.
And as you become the magical girl via the power of your sailor Krixus outfit that you got that Halloween, with that, I would like you to make me, because it seems like you're relying on your like spell casting ability and your kind of power to do this. Why don't you make me a spell casting ability check with advantage? Because you have this item to help you as well.
For some reason, my thing is not working, so...
Yeah, just 2d20 plus your wisdom.
2d20?
It's for the advantage.
Ah.
And we'll see how this goes.
One sec.
Sorry, you're having trouble with the character sheet tonight. 17. Oh my goodness! Natural 20. And you watch as this transformation. You can like hear muttering from Zewxip and Sotaria and Jenny, who are in the who are kind of over, just kind of like in the darkness right now, out of the spotlight as Krixus is doing this. The gnomes are really exaggerating all of the lights and all of the sparkling that comes along with it as everyone's just enraptured by this transformation. And those of you who aren't currently in the midst of it can hear people whispering,
Blinded.
It's a perfect metaphor for the way our societies transform and change. And we grow as and like you just hear people like making all of these grandiose comments about the performance. As Krixus, you complete this transformation. What's the kind of final flourish that you do at the end? As you got 2 successes with that crit, which I mean you're already there. You guys all did stellar on this.
I start doing the like 2 fingers with like the peace sign across.
Yeah. and
We like
and the,
move it the whole time.
excellent. And the audience just stands and roars with applause. And Sotaria, you on the sidelines, as Krixus is coming to the end of this very gripping performance, you even, just a little bit, Sotaria, even find yourself getting pulled in. But you feel a slight tap on your shoulder.
Oh. Can I help you?
Oh, Sotaria, good.
Oh, no.
Let me just get the cup up. And Bartholomew takes the cup, and you see him just kind of moving it over towards where you guys are with telekinesis. And he goes, "All right, I got our closing act. You might need to get in there." And
How about this? How about I light it with a flaming arrow?
oh, I have a much better torch, so to speak. And Krixus, as your act here comes to an end, you begin to see the lights grow dim around you again, and then in the crowd, a light appears upon you, Sotaria, standing there, not in any kind of elaborate dress that you've put on for the ceremony, but just in your adventuring garb. And Bartholomew just kind of whispers, "All right, break a leg out there," and a light appears on you, Zewxip and Jenny and Krixus, as you are all highlighted in your different locations. And then that big gauntlet that Bartholomew was telekinesising just crashes down into the space and begins to glitter and kind of glint with some of the spectacle around here. And you see on the other side of it a great kind of a circle of flame, not unlike the one that you had put down before. Jenny appears on the ground, and this one seems a little bit more like an actual portal to the abyss that seems to be opening up here on the field.
I look around to see if Ricardo's still hanging around.
Ricardo's still hanging around. You haven't broken concentration yet. Ricardo kind of looks over at you and is kind of looks at you, points at the thing, does a little shrug, what's going on now?
I give him a shrug back, start to draw the Frankenblade.
And
Sotaria is trying not to facepalm because she's like, really, you dumb wizard? You really opened up a portal with all these people here?
and
I know what it's for.
you watch as a huge hand comes reaching out of it, and you hear just kind of a deep kind of low growling roar come up. The next thing that you see over the top emerge, you hear some shouts of kind of shock and surprise as people, a great kind of thunderous whip cracks up into the air and shatters the sound here, and you hear some more kind of shrieks of terror as people in the audience are just kind of oh, but they're not running away. They just are thinking, well, it's part of the performance, and slowly crawling out of this pit, you see what appears to be a smaller than average, but still very intimidating looking Baylor. I would like you to roll for initiative.
The Harbinger of the End Time sends his regards.
Striking through, amplified by the voice amplification magic that you've all been put under. Your familiar cries out into the crowd. And there's a great kind of round of applause as this Baylor comes onto the scene. And it's going to roll for initiative as well, because it's a turn. Oh, it did really bad.
Thank goodness.
And so in that case, the first to act is going to be Sotaria. A Baylor is
Actually,
here.
I thought
It's actually me, isn't it?
Oh, wait.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
Krixus,
it's
right.
Krixus.
I didn't
Yes.
see your manual roll. 19, Krixus, absolutely it is you. As this creature comes out, what would you like to do?
It's the oppressor. We must fight him back. And with that, I will cast Moonbeam, as it is traditional for me.
Yes. The Baylor will make a save at the start of their turn, but I don't think anything happens immediately as an effect of Moonbeam. So
Let's see exactly what the damage is. Oh yeah, I'll totally do that.
Okay, so on their turn, they will make a save or take that chunk of radiant damage.
Yes.
In the meantime, now it is. Or sorry, do you want to move at all, or do you have a bonus action? Krixus?
How far away am I from this thing?
The space you're in is relatively large. You're about 50 feet away from it right now.
I'm good there.
Okay. You just kind of stay back a comfortable distance, holding your ground. As we move next to Sotaria, what would you like to do, Sotaria?
I take out my longbow and I'm before I shoot, I basically look around for Bartholomew.
You make eye contact with Bartholomew in the crowd. He has a little flashlight, but he's casting a little light cantrip under his face to point himself out. And he kind of you see him mouthing make it dramatic, do it cool, do a roll or something.
And I'm really kind of want to look at him are you crazy? But I basically throw my hands up and I'm we're gonna talk. I'm basically looking we're gonna talk later. So I take out my longbow and I'm gonna shoot.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll. 24 is going to hit. Roll damage on that. 9 points of piercing damage.
I do want to move before I end my turn. Who's
Okay.
the closest person to me, but not as close to that thing, Baylor?
I think you could say that you were just kind of anywhere in the crowd at the moment is where we started, so I'll let you pick any of your allies to be the closest to. You want to be
Fine
nearest.
then. Fine then. I'm moving toward Krixus.
Okay, you move closer to Krixus.
I know it pains you to say that.
Take
Yes, it
9
does.
points. Take 9 points of piercing damage, and the turn passes now to you, Jenny. What would you like to do, Jenny?
I'm going to move to within 30 feet of the dude. I'm going to cast my Hexblade's Curse upon it as a bonus action.
Okay.
And I'm going to command my Incubus to aid me in this fight against this fiend.
That's kind of my boss, you know.
Then scram.
I mean, I'm at your command. I mean, honestly, it's cathartic.
Okay, then hit him.
What is? Do you have the Incubus stat block here already? I believe.
I have a macro ready.
Great. Go ahead and make me an attack roll with
Do you want him to go on my initiative, or do you want him
just
to
have him go on
his
your
own?
initiative for ease?
Okay. And then I will also Agonizing Blast. Pop.
Hit.
So that and
Ooh.
that.
A nice crisp 25 points of force damage as you strike into the Baylor's border.
And
you see great kind of spouts of flame come out from the points of contact.
an additional 6 from the Hexblade's Curse.
This music is also happening in fiction as well, for the record. The gnomes are just like creating this in the air around you as it's going on.
22 to hit for 5 slashing from Incubus, and then the 6 Hexblade's Curse damage.
Excellent. So 25, 30, 36, correct?
Yes.
36. In that case, a nice chunk, nice round. Ricardo kind of looks back at you and kind of like winks as he gets a firm hit in on the boss. That's going to be all for your turn as we move to Zewxip. What would you like to do, Zewxip?
There's no one in melee range of the opponent.
Ricardo,
The Incubus, yeah.
Is this a large?
This is a large creature, yes.
Okay. Then I am going to land a having it shimmer with our unifying colors that we were displaying before. I'm going to mold a 60-foot wall through the. I'm also spending 3 sorcery points to force disadvantage on that Constitution save.
Okay, cool. Does it make it at the start of his turn, or does it make it the next time, or does it take it when it appears?
When the wall appears, it makes a con throw, and after that, it's just it emanates light. But I can effectively eat the length of the wall for damage over time.
Ooh. That's pretty cool. All right, so he's going to make a Constitution. Actually, it gets to his turn now. So he's going to make a Constitution saving throw against Krixus' Moonbeam. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. He makes one first against the Wall of Light. So he has disadvantage on that save. That's a 9.
All
it's
right,
actually
he
really
is
good.
blinded.
And now he's going to make one against you, Krixus. Krixus is a 16.
17.
Oh my god, he fails both of them. It's like the best facet of his game, too.
And 20 radiant damage to him.
20 points of radiant damage, and then 14 from yours, was it, Krixus?
Yes, and it's radiant, so it does extra damage versus fiends.
And the brilliant light also kind of wows the crowd once more, who ooh and ah appreciatively. And then it's going to pass now to the Baylor's turn. Does the wall impede their movement, or can they just fly out of it right now?
No, it only blocks line of sight. The creature can move through it. He's blinded anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not physical. It'll just it just does.
So the creature is blinded right now.
Correct.
Okay.
And then at the end of its turn, it can save. It can save for blindness.
Okay. In that case, the Balor kind of like flies up into the air and provoking an opportunity attack from the incubus, which will miss unfortunately. And he doesn't really
advantage, right? 12. Yikes.
Yeah, unfortunately 12 still misses. He doesn't really know where he's aiming, so he's just going to roll a d4 for a target, which would be Jenny, that he's going to go after. He just kind of crashes down kind of near-ish you, and begins just kind of like in wide kind of arcing swings, swinging out the whip, and then a great kind of lightning blade, the fiery whip, and the lightning longsword that it's kind of swinging around just in circles, hoping to make contact with something, you being the closest target here. I'm going to make 2 attacks with disadvantage. The longsword, 16.
Nope.
And the whip.
Nope.
Ooh. Nice. That's a big blind. And then a constitution save at the end of his turn, right, Maddie?
That is correct.
Oh my god. This Baylor's having a tough time with a big round 12 there. And that is that's all for the turn. He's having a hard time. You watch as it kind of, the Baylor just kind of roars out, and you watch as fire begins to just spread out and around them, kind of encompassing them in anger here. That is going to bring us to the top, which was Krixus.
I raise my hand and go, "Come on, baby, light my fire," and I move the moonbeam.
Fair enough. You move Moonbeam. I assume you move Moonbeam such that it does not hurt the Ricardo.
Of course, it will not be. He's an ally at the moment.
Yes. Oh, yes, of course. I forgot that you can just do that with Moonbeam. Anything else on your turn, Krixus?
No, I'm comfortable where I'm at.
Fair enough. That's going to bring us to Sotaria. What would you like to do, Sotaria?
I'm still grumbling about all this. Okay. Do I want to move closer or do I want to stay where I am? I want to stay where I'm at. So we are going to knock another arrow and shoot.
14 is going to miss, unfortunately.
Okay.
Anything else on your turn?
Yep, I'm not moving.
Okay, just staying over near where Krixus is.
Uh-huh.
That's going to bring us next to Jenny. What would you like to do, Jenny?
Wielding the Franken blade, I am going to smite this fiend down with a booming blade. Paladin smite.
I'm sorry, actually, at the start of your turn, you are going to suffer some damage because he's now in melee of you.
Yeah.
So you get 11 points of fire damage at the start of your turn, just being near this creature. The flame's incredibly hot, burning outwards. But yeah, go ahead and make me your attack roll.
With advantage.
He's still blinded, yeah. I'm sorry, so you should have had advantage as well for that. I'll let you re-roll that longbow strike after this round. 19 will hit.
Okay, so that is 3 and 15 and 13 if he moves.
15 and 13 if he moves. And what's the base damage?
So the base damage is 15.
Okay. So 15 and then 13. I thought you were saying
13 if he moves, and then he also takes 3 hexblade damage, and then I'm going to bonus action Maddening Hex for another 5. So 23 from me.
Excellent. Anything else on your turn?
Ricardo, 17 to hit.
17 hits for 9 slashing damage. Are Ricardo's weapon attacks magical?
Negative.
So that's actually half damage from that.
Okay.
So it's 4 points of slashing damage, and I assume Ricardo does not have a. I assume Ricardo can't take fire damage.
So I think that he's resistant.
Okay.
Let me check. Yeah, he's resistant to fire.
He's going to take half of that, and then when you struck the Balor with a melee attack, more fire kind of cursed out and kind of burned you. So I need you to also take it up to 10 points of that damage. And can you make me concentration checks for controlling Ricardo? You're good, and you are good.
I'm going to move away.
Provoking... Actually, he cannot see you, so you can't take an opportunity attack. Nice. And Sotaria, go ahead and re-roll that attack with advantage. Or just, make another attack roll, and that would be the advantage roll.
Hit.
16 barely hits, and you would be able to add sneak attack to that. So roll damage and toss in the sneak attack.
Whew.
Total of 28. That's a nice little
great.
chunk of damage, yeah. The longbow bolt flies out and strikes in. More flames kind of jet from the body, and then the creature's actually starting to look pretty ragged. You guys have done a lot of damage to this guy very quickly. As we move next in initiative to Zewxip. What would you like to do, Zewxip?
All right, from this radiant, this wall of light, kind of like a vague hemisphere formed in front of it, I am going to command a portion of it to manifest into this light beam and streak out and crash against our enemy, hopefully.
What's he do? Oh my goodness! Yeah, you know what? That is gonna hit. Zewxip, you're gonna strike with that one. Go ahead and roll me damage.
All right, 1 second here.
Ooh.
That's going to be 28 and 24, 52 points of damage. What does it look like as this beam of radiance strikes through the mini Balor here?
It would appear as streaks of our Olympic colors are flying out as these like sparkling ribbons, arcing out above to this menace in the sky, crashing over and kind of like swirling around before being absorbed into this creature.
The light pierces through the Balor, and you watch as it does so. The crowd kind of like just ooh, and all of like the beautiful spectacle of the light here, and just going through one side and out the other of this Balor like a great beam. And you watch as the Balor begins to kind of like crackle with flame as the light in their eyes kind of fades. And you watch as Ricardo the Incubus kind of just begins kind of like ducking and running, like not at your command, Jenny, as he sees this happening. I need all of you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
So good.
So everyone here is going to, except for Krixus, is going to take 28 points of fire damage. Krixus, you're going to take half of that.
No, not Krixus, Sotaria.
Oh wait, Sotaria. My mistake. You are correct about this.
Yeah. Gotta say no. Wow.
And as this happens, because as this you watch as like the orchestra just kind of shifts, and you hear that great kind of brilliant fanfare that was happening before kind of begin to start again as the Balor just erupts in just incredible fire and flame. And the fire just courses outwards along the ground and upwards. You all get very badly burned, but you watch as it just stops at the edge of the arena and begins to like fly upwards and coalesce before eventually just whipping around and crashing into that big cup at the center of the arena. And then from within that fire, you watch as it fills the cup and begins to light. Bartholomew just kind of appears out of the cup, throws his hands up into the air, like above the flames, and just goes, "I declare the DnDTime Olympic Games open!" And there's just a huge, just fanfare and roar of applause from the crowd. as they all cheer for your victory, your showing of your adventuring prowess here, the symbol of Bartholomew's adventuring troupe.
When he does that, I'm going to wild shape into a giant parrot and just soar into the sky.
Awesome. Radical. Just very radical. Does anyone else have a flourish they would like to do as you finish up the battle?
My wall only lasts a minute, so I mean, if nothing else is emerging to explicitly murder us, I'll fire off the remaining 5 beams from my wall into colorful streaks and
they fly away. Do you have what are you banishing?
I'm banishing Ricardo.
Ricardo just kind of does a mock, does kind of like a mock sort of I got banished before he falls as he's casting the spell, and disappears with a pop as he's been returned to his home plane. And Sotaria, do you have any flourish?
Sotaria is debating on whether or not she wants to go over and hit Bartholomew, or try and sneak back into the shop to see if she can take anything.
And it is while you are having these thoughts that you, Bartholomew kind of turns around to you, and he kind of like, just while he's still there, kind of with his arms outstretched in victory here, kind of snaps his fingers, and in each of your pockets appears 300 Bartholomew bucks. You have successfully opened the DnDTime Olympic Games, and you have been successful in this adventure here. Congratulations, all of you, and thank you for putting on such a great performance.
Thank you for the fun.
And with that, as things kind of settle down, Bartholomew kind of whirls back around and he goes, "All right, so that was like really good. I was watching on one of the illusions. Did you know that they actually still show this in the Abyss?"
I bet.
Beside the point.
Tell Ramsey Hellfire to eat his heart out.
He probably will, both literally and figuratively. So, I got a downtime if any of you want to buy anything as we come to the end of our adventure. Do any of you like to shop, is what I'm getting at.
Yes. However, I don't need the jingle this time, Bartholomew.
Oh, that's good, because I'm just going to be doing this one out on the lawn here. I got to go start coordinating some of the actual...
Yes, I'll do a pull.
Need a magic
from the back.
Where to shop? Head on down to...
It's your only choice.
Bartholomew's shop.
Damn, it's very good, Krixus. Go ahead and roll me a D1000 as Bartholomew bag appears in his hand, and I wish you, of course, as always, the utmost in luck.
I was waiting for the luck. Perfect. Oh, no.
You should have maybe gone before the luck.
Oh, no.
It could be worse.
You reach in the bag and get one of the classics in a different sense than a lot of the other classics are. It's not a classic DnDTime item, or it's not a classic 5e item. It's a classic DnDTime item. You reach into the bag, and you're in a section that seems to have a lot of bottles and jars and cans and things of that nature around here. And what you end up pulling is, it looks like a 6-pack of cans, and you recognize this name brand anywhere. This appears to be a 6-pack of Crimson Bovine, an energy drink that allows you to, after consuming it, when you use the move action on your turn, you can chug the drink as part of the movement, and when you do so, your movement speed is doubled, and you can fly a distance equal to your movement speed until the end of turn. So you've gotten 6 uses of essentially a tabaxi speed double with flight.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, as far as consumables go, it's a good...
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And you said this is Crimson Bovine.
Crimson Bovine. This is not even created by Farku, by the way, which I think it's been pulled 3 times now. People have gotten a 6-pack of Crimson Bovine.
I think you're right.
In there. So, can I get anything for anyone else?
I will pass.
Pass.
And it looks like that's all. We'll be right back with our second adventure of the evening, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for playing. We'll see you all very soon.